Could you imagine spending thousands and thousands of years inside of a dream or a dream state? Um, and some people think, well, they're in their dream state. They'll be just fine. They can do anything there. And that's fine if the dreamer realizes that they're in a dream, correct? There's a, I would say, not necessarily stoic philosopher, but just a philosopher, in the way they said that when you're dreaming, you're really awake. And when you're awake, you're really dreaming. So, what does that tell us? You know what I mean? What kind of impression does that give us in this world to say that, you know, what is your reality? And in your realities, do you have a way you can control your realities in your dream state? Can you fly? And if so, if you can, that really does help a lot of people to understand that they can control their waking life as well as their dream state to a certain extent. Um, we have, your imagination factors. This is true. But when you've literally spent thousands of years in one night inside of a dream, you learn a lot. Or if you spend billions of years living on, say, another realm or reality or dimension, others might want to call them planets. uh, However you want to call it, though, it's more of a grow grow and go as you know kind of thing. It seems like on each place, but there are different um, there are different ways to uh, come across, these realities. I think if I was to say one of the most important things I learned was patience, because, and I, not to have anybody take my ideas, it seems like they already have and used them as a movie, but it's been thousands of years evolving on each one of those states or realities and becoming the lowest form of life on that dimension to the highest form of reality. Or other people want to say creatures, dimensions, states of being, quantum physics, states of mind. You can call it all kinds of things, I guess. But our dream state is more real than people want to believe. And I wish they did know, when it comes to having a directions toward God and back home to the light, towards, it's not just living another life and feeding some source of some invisible, I don't know, whatever it is these people want to say, uh, creatures or something in the afterlife. It's about learning and growing and being able to be close to God through Yahshua Christ. And a lot of people don't really get that. They think, well, somebody's trying to control me. This is religion. This is something I don't want to know. But through that dream state that I learned to be born as a different creature in each reality and become something different, completely different. I would say not just for a little while, but it was like I really spent lifetimes and grew as each one of those creatures on those reality planets, beings, and had to be born, wait, live out its life, um, and know that there was something, more evolved or better waiting ahead in each one that I lived. And you get closer and closer to graduating to back to the what they don't kind of want us to know, the ether. The ether would be considered the atmosphere, the stars, a lot of people want to say astronomy. Those are all sciences that, unfortunately, it seems like this world has kind of forgot, and that's really sad. Because you shouldn't forget what God made. And these people point to the sky, but yet they tell you not to look up to the sky. Don't go by your emotions or this or that. What does God go by? His emotions. He went by telling us, hey, there's a lot more to this world than just what you see, and believe in me, for I am the unseen. And I will never leave you nor forsake you, and even though you can't see me with you, I am with you. That is great. That is awesome. But it seems like this place has a little bit more to learn than just one and done, It's like you have a lot of these lifetimes that are not going to go so quick and easy as people want to make them out to be. And, it takes time to get through here. And it also takes patience, perseverance. Whether you have a million people around you that love and support you, or you have nobody at all, but maybe a few animals that you see, or, people that you may say hello to, maybe, I don't know, once in a while. But the point is that strength within you guides you to a perseverance that's way higher than this planetary elevation, and evolvation or evolution is not necessarily the key in this, as it is evolving and ascending back home to where we're supposed to be with God. And it wasn't something that was a mistake. You're not here for just a small fraction of a second, but maybe you're here to learn greater things, and that these places that are here have a lot to teach you in patience and perseverance and guidance, and helping creatures that wouldn't have been able to do what needed to be done had you not appeared here in a positive, loving, kind way. And if you're being anything other than kind and loving, what's the point of being here, right? It ain't to be a jerk. It's to actually evolve and be closer to God that is good. And when there is good and greatness of Him, that's perfection in a way that the world maybe can't give back to us that we wished it could have. For the short time, we want to think that our flowers open up and they bloom and blossom. All that hard work in the garden, all that hard work that we put into living life and getting there and trying hard, is not just for nothing. There's a purpose behind it. And it goes beyond the memories of this time period, and it goes beyond the fraction of realities of which this reality spins. And you can control your realities like those dreams. For as the dreamer, and as it says, when you're awake, you're really dreaming, but when you're dreaming, you're really awake. So, was I to be able to be all those things on that planet, that in realms and dimensions, and become everything that I became, and be one with all those beings? Not just be one with it, but actually lived as them. It's something for you to contemplate in the world that you call men. But I'll say this again. If it not for Yeshua Christ, the one that leads our life, none of us would know what going back home ever was or could be or will be until we know the one that loves us, that's great to us for all eternity. There's only one God. There's only one Yeshua. You can call him Esau. You can call him Jesus. You can call him by many different names, but he's still the same. And he's at the right hand of God when everything was made. Before you or I ever thought to become something that could be saved. We weren't shoved into a grave. We were made alive again. And it's more than just having God as your best friend, but it's the best personal relationship you could ever wish for. And all that more to adore. Stay close to him. The greatest thing we could ever wish for in this world, below or above, for God is that eternal love.